Hey, welcome to another edition of the Lions Den. I'm Jimmy Haas, your host. We've got Coach Ryan McAdams with us. This is what we do each and every week at Randall Ford, the fourth oldest Ford dealership in America. We film this thing down here. They've always been a part of the university, helping out in athletics and the academic side as well. And usually anytime the university needs something, man, Randall Ford's always right there to step up and help. So we certainly appreciate the university doing the coaches show here at Randall. Coach, halfway through the season, we just finished game 15. We have 13 left, plus a tournament. So let's break away from the norm. Instead of talking about last week's games, let's talk about what you've seen so far from the start of the year to game 15 with your team, how they've grown, what you want to turn around in the second half of the year, some of the things that have surprised you maybe that you didn't expect from this year's team, and some of the things that you're working on.
Yeah, I think that we're still developing our identity offensively. I think that that's something that is still a work in progress. We are, suffering from some low percentage numbers right now, shooting numbers right now that I need to figure out a way to put the right people in the right places to make shots. We've grown a lot in the idea of shifting our offense. We started out a certain way and didn't think it was going the right direction for us, and so we changed gears, pivoted a little bit, and feel like we're starting to develop more comfort level within that new kind of offensive scheme. That being said, we still got to make shots, right? So Saturday, I know we're not supposed to talk about last week, but Saturday we went 2 for our first 20 from the floor, and again, that's a reflection on coaching and just putting the right people in the right positions. And then finishing around the basket, we had some shots around the basket that we struggled to make sometimes. And so, in doing, our overhaul and our own reflection as we go, we are able to see who is better than when they got here, who is progressing the right direction, who are doing good things for, the overall group. Rose Wemba is having a very good year. She's, struggled a little bit the last couple, but overall, she's having a very good year. She's one of our hardest workers and, has a significant post presence for us. And then, we're continuing to try to get Talisha Brown back in shape. She was out for 5 games in the first semester.
Right.
Those fed right into the Christmas break, which was 8 days. And so getting her back into physical condition, putting her in position to be the player she's capable of being is very impactful on our team. When we met our comeback Saturday, she was most of the reason of getting the ball in the paint and breaking people down and creating defensive rotation and finding people who, we had some good stretches in the second half. So, I would say that those two are the front runners. And, defensively, we're starting to establish ourselves a little bit better in zone, a little bit more. We trapped well down the stretch on Saturday, and we're going to try to feed off of that a little bit. But, we're still looking for some answers with aggressiveness. We're still looking for answers with just overall performance, from some. And we need, as a staff, to figure out ways, like I say, to put them in their best positions to be successful. And that's something that, like you say, we're halfway through the season. We're still, working really diligently to try to figure that out as we head into, kind of a week here where we get some time to really reflect. We don't play again until Friday. It's a home game. So we get a few days this week to really kind of, like you say, kind of diagnose.
Coach, even though your team started off 2 of 20, you were in the ball game at the end of it.
Yeah, felt like we got fouled on a 3, and we make that, we get that call. We possibly cut it to 5, and we set our press again, which they were struggling with at the time.
Right.
Instead, it's a live ball switch, and we foul, and they go up 10. So 5-point swing. We obviously dug ourselves a hole and put ourselves in position to need every call down the stretch, which is not always going to happen. I think we lead the country in consecutive games on, with all due respect, some of the more lucky shots that our opponents have been like, Rogers State banked in 2 threes on Wednesday. And, we've just, but the basketball gods, the basketball universe, it doesn't give you anything. You have to find a way to dig your way out and put yourself in a position to win games on your own right. And if something can happen, there's a good chance right now for us it will, the wrong direction. And so, I've been really addressing, our mental and our physical toughness as a group. I thought that we really exhibited some at home against Missouri Southern.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went back on the road last week and just struggled to kind of find that and continue that, But yeah, proud of how the kids fought all the way through the final horn. I probably, like I say, everybody is up for, just observation, right? And so could I have gone to the press sooner and those sorts of things. There's all those, woulda, shoulda, couldas and what ifs. But
Right.
but end of the day, we have a very good opponent in front of us on Friday, and we as a team need to continue to improve, and we as a staff need to continue to put our kids in position to be successful.
Coach, just from my perspective outside looking in, one of the things, and correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the things that I've noticed about this team is, unlike last year's team, you've had a ton of injuries to starters and some bench players where they're nicked up, not 100%. Everyone goes through that. But this team continues to fight hard, and they continue to play hard right through the last buzzer. I mean, I like that about this team.
Yeah, Jimmy, I'm a huge San Francisco 49er fan, so that's a great question.
Sorry to hear
for
that.
Me, coming off of yesterday's win. They had two linebackers playing yesterday that they didn't even have on the team last month. So, you're talking about, all those threads, all of those themes, all of those, narratives
Mm-hmm.
that are resilience, right? And they are mental and physical toughness, and they are, next player up. We talk a lot about next player up. Like I say, we're not going to be given anything. That's been the course of the season. We're limited 3-point shooting right now. Our best 3-point shooter tore ACL in the first semester.
Right.
There are just different things that have happened that at a certain point you just drive forward and you control what you can control.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope that we are instilling, some, forging ahead kind of mindsets in some of these young people who, some of them have already gone through tougher things in their lives than we're experiencing right now. I mean, we have perspective. We're able to zoom out. Others have not, and others will go through tougher things in life beyond college. And so, opportunities like this, and this is an opportunity, of when you deal with a season that's not going the way you want to, and you have different things that impact that, what's your response? What are you made of when those things come about?
Mm-hmm.
And so, as a staff, that too is our job, right? It's to help these kids embrace the adversity and figure out how to navigate it. We had individual film sessions this morning with a handful of our kids, and it's very important that our record is not who we are, that how we're playing basketball right now is not our overall identity. We have to find ways to value ourselves and find value in what we're doing in our approach before things will shift on the court. And, it's hard for some folks, especially they don't have class right now, which oftentimes that's a positive. Right now, they don't have a whole lot occupying their minds outside of basketball on a daily basis. And that's a grind when you're losing. So, again, what can we do to figure out the best way to go about our business on the court, but also what are we doing along the way during this season to help these kids grow as people and mature. And like I say, it's not an opportunity I recommend to everybody, but when you are faced with it, it's something that you have to navigate.
3-game home set starts this Friday night, and then the following week, Thursday, Saturday, back to a normal routine. Doesn't get any easier. You still have games on the road against Washburn Central, Missouri Western, and Northwest Missouri. So it doesn't get any easier from here. But one of the things that you can take as a positive out of this, in my opinion, is you're setting the foundation not only to finish up the season and finish up on a high note, but you're also setting that up for next year because a lot of players are getting more minutes than they normally would have. And to me, that's just going to continue to grow and help them, into next year as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think, there's parity in our league. And again, who are we to talk about it? And, but we are still in position mathematically to make a run at March.
Right.
Pitt State loses at Missouri Southern. Missouri Western beats Washburn on its home floor. We've competed with teams, down to one possession or been in games. And so there is parity in our league, more so. I think it's less top heavy than it was a year ago. And so you just never know when things will click. And then, we're not making any real decisions as far as, we're going to play the young ones so we can get tread on their tires looking ahead to next year. We're trying to win now. But we have also been in position where we've had to play people,
Right.
like you say, more minutes than maybe traditionally that they would have gotten. And so, and they've responded. I can say that we've had some kids that have taken full advantage of the opportunities that they've received and have become better players through game reps, which is very, very important to play well on that stage and not just in the practice gym as a role player, as a practice body. And so, we've had the opportunity to put some kids in those positions, and they've done well. But as a whole, we're going to stay committed. We're relentlessly trying to figure it out, and when you hit certain dead ends or you hit certain hurdles, it's we got to figure it out as a staff on how to guide the team through those, over those, and look, Northeastern State is playing really, really well. They blew out Rogers State on Saturday, and them being our travel partner in just a 1-game week, like I say, this gives both them and us, the chance to take a breath and get in the practice gym and get in the film room and those sorts of things. So, we hope that this is a nice little timed break where we can kind of look inward and figure out, some things that we need to do and then start going at it again.
Looking forward to it. 5:30 this Friday. Come out to Stubblefield Center, take in this ball game, and the men will tip off right around 7:30. So you get 2 games for the price of 1. It doesn't cost a lot. You can bring the whole family and still not, break your budget. So it's great entertainment for not a lot of money. Go online, buy those tickets now, and come out and support this team. I think you're going to like what you see out on the court. Coach Ryan McAdams, I'm Jimmy Haas. We will take a quick timeout. And we're going to talk some men's basketball next on the Lions Den. Welcome back to the Lions Den. It's time to talk a little UA Fort Smith men's basketball. And assistant coach Jeremy Zapata is with us. And Coach, Lions coming off a tough road trip. I know that it's not the way that you guys had drawn it up. But I also know that at the beginning of the season, I came to you guys and said, "Hey, listen, you're actually going to start off 13-2." I think you would have taken that.
Yeah, I think any coach in America would have taken that start. So 2 losses in a row, it was tough. Guys on Wednesday when we played Rogers kind of came out flat. They were ready for us. I mean, we had just been ranked top 5 the day before, so they were juiced up and ready to go. Our guys, I think they kind of relaxed a sense, and you can't have that, especially everyone's gonna be gunning for us, and they did.
Right.
And UCO was a tough one. Could have won it, and it didn't go our way, and came home with 2 losses, unfortunately.
Yeah, that ball game Saturday, I slamming my hand on the desk. It was frustrating, man. I just felt like we're gonna win that game, and it goes to overtime. I thought, okay, perfect. We've been in overtime already this year. We won the close ball games this year. Hey, fine, we've got this. And it, for whatever reason, it just didn't bounce away. But, and I can never get Zane to admit it, this might be okay in the sense that you humble a team a little bit that is reading their press clippings, and maybe they get hungry. And not saying they weren't hungry, but maybe they get hungry and they stay locked in 24 hours a day.
Yeah, no, and that's to credit our team right now. I believe they are locked in. Some teams, they go 13-0 to start out, lose 2 in a row, and then they just think it's the end of the world. We suck now. It's the worst team in America. Right. But our guys, they've responded well. They've come to practice. They're actually trying to learn. They're asking questions. They're like trying to figure it out so we can get back to our role of winning games and having the streak going.
You doesn't get any easier. I mean, you have Northeastern coming up on Friday, tip off at 7:30. This is a game that earlier in the year, it was tough. It was like 86-75, something like that.
Yeah. At
their place. Now it's never easy to win there, but sometimes I've seen this team. They play extremely well on the road, and they'll be itching to get back out on the court against the Lions.
Yeah, and they just They just beat Rogers on Saturday. That was
Mhm.
Rogers' first home loss of the year, so
Mhm.
it's a big win for them.
Yeah.
They see us losing 2 in a row. I'm sure they got some momentum going. They think they can come in and steal one on Friday.
They played Pitt State and lost in overtime to Pittsburgh State, 98-95. So they'll put a lot of points on the board. One of the things that I've noticed about this Northeastern team is they have 5 players that average double-digit scoring. So it's not an easy chore. You can't lock down. It's like UA Fort Smith. You don't have one single player that's the superstar. You have a lot of great players.
Yeah.
Really, Northeastern's about the same way. You don't have one that you can focus and just lock down. You think, okay, if we can shut him down, yeah, we're all right.
Yeah. No, they're versatile, and they like to play with a lot of pace. They like to keep us on our toes and make sure we're getting back in transition and all that good stuff. So they have a lot of pieces. Xavier Glenn's been playing really well for them lately. He's averaging 25 in conference play right now, so he's a big focus right there. But like you said, they have multiple that can get them going. Like they got Ethan Blackman, who was last year. I believe he was freshman of the year or something. And he's getting himself going again. Early on, he started a little slow, but I think he's figuring it out, and he's been helping them out. So,
Coach, what have you seen this team evolve into as far as from day one of the very first practice up until now that may have surprised you?
One, I mean, last week we didn't show it well, but this team can really shoot it. We've shown it in multiple games. Early on, we were shooting 41% from 3 as a team, and I think we can get back to that. It's just ball hasn't been falling. I think we went through a little slump. I got all the confidence in all the confidence in the world in our guys to make some threes. So I think we'll get back to it. And defensively, when we apply the scout and do all that stuff, we can guard at a high level. We were top in the nation for 3-point field goal percentage for our opposing teams. Like I said, last week, we didn't exemplify any of that in any way. So I think once we get back to it, that's the standard we want it to be at, and I think our guys can do it. So we can shoot it at a high level, and we can guard at a high level. It's just got to get back to it.
What's been your biggest challenge this year?
With how the landscape of the game is now, you bring in transfers, it's just getting them to the standard. They all come from different programs. Some of them were able to do whatever they wanted. Some of them were held to a high standard. So some of them, they adjust quickly. Some of them, it's a culture shock for them. So it's just getting everyone on the same page, getting them to understand it, and actually coaching them, because sometimes they don't get coached where they're at. And Coach Gibson does a great job of holding everyone accountable and coaching everyone from 1 to 18.
I've seen a lot of complaints about the transfer portal and how players are just jumping and leaving in maybe at 5 schools in 5 years. I think in the near future we'll probably see that change. I think they'll try to rein that in and set up a system where that's not possible. I kind of miss the days where we had an incoming freshman, started out, got some playing time, maybe played a little bit more towards the end of the year, and you could watch these players develop. And it's so frustrating because you see some of the players that we have, and you're like, yeah, man, next year, I can't wait. And then they hit the portal and they leave. And I've talked to several friends that are in broadcasting with other teams in the MIAA, and it's the same way. I mean, they feel the same. So I'm hoping that this team, because we've got a lot of good ball players on this team.
Yeah. And
the second half of this year, I'm excited, man.
I am too, because we got some big games coming up. Like obviously Washburn's top of the league. We go to their place. Last year, we were the first team to beat them when they were undefeated. So it's like there's a lot of momentum building. Obviously, it's game by game. Like we're focused on Northeastern right now. We have one game this week, and they're the ones we're focused on. But we understand what's ahead. The North is tough. The South, this whole league in general is just very difficult. But the North, everyone sees it as the big dog, and they do. They have Washburn up there, and that's a team we really want to. We see their standard. We see where they're operating and performing at. That's something we're building this culture to be.
You shoot better from the 3 than Coach O'Neill?
I think Coach Brett might get me on that one. He's a good little ball player.
Yeah, he is pretty good, and he's competitive.
Yeah,
I love that dude. 7:30 Friday night. Looking forward to it. Only one game this week, a little bit out of the norm, but then you have a 3-game homestand, so you have 2 next week, but one on Friday night. Team used to playing on Thursday, Saturday, so a little bit different, but that's okay. Yeah. I mean, hopefully we'll have some people that can't make it out on Thursdays, maybe work related, that can be there on a Friday. So really like to see the gym filled up.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Like so far, obviously with winning it helps. You get more fans, and then within the league itself, a lot of these teams like to travel their people as well. So it makes the stadium feel more filled up, and it looks good. It sounds good, and it helps us out because get the real home court advantage.
I'll be glad when the band comes back out and sets up in the stands, and it's just got that atmosphere, man. Because you guys deserve it. This team's been phenomenal this year, and you know what? During the timeouts, I'm always watching to see exactly what Coach and you and Coach O'Neill are doing. During the timeouts, what you're working on to try to get a little bit of insight. Of course, my broadcast partner Mike, he played when back in the day here at UAFS, and it's kind of refreshing just to kind of watch and see how Coach Gibson works, versus Coach Newman when Coach Newman was here and Zane was on the sidelines with him. So it's fun. It's been a great run so far, man, and I'm so excited about the second half of the season.
We are too. We get some momentum building up right here. 3-game home stretch. See how that goes, and it's games we can win, but also every night it's a game you can lose.
Exactly right.
You got to approach it the same way every time, and it's what we instill in our guys. Like no game's too big, no game's too small. Like you got to approach it the same, be consistent, and we'll be fine.
We'll be out there. 7:30 tip off for the men, 5:30 for the women. We'll be on the air on Fox Sports Radio 103.5 FM and also on the MIAA network on the live stream. So if you can't make it to the game, tune us in on either one of those broadcasts and make sure that you get those tickets and come on out. We still have a lot of games left, 13 games left before the conference tournament and then the national central regionals. So we still have a lot of basketball left, and I'm looking forward to it. Coach, thank you for coming in.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Hey, we'll take another quick timeout. We'll be checking in with Chris Davis from Randall Ford right after this. Back out at Randall Ford as we get ready to wrap up this week's and this edition of the Lions Den. And Chris, we've started doing a little something different at Randall Ford. Each week we'll be featuring our pre-owned of the week, and it's going to change each and every Monday.
Yes.
And we've already started that.
Yes, we have done that. The end of the year was big on new vehicles, tax purposes. Everybody was doing that, but we didn't give any love to our pre-owned stuff or used, as people say. It's a big misnomer. They're like, oh, you can just call it used. It's okay. We know what it is. But here at Randall Ford, we run it through the shop. We put it through a full inspection. We certify these things. We take care of them. So it's a new year, so we need to make sure that the used side of our lot gets taken care of. If not, we got so many trade-ins from all of the new vehicles we sold. They're stacking. We can't build another layer on this lot. We can't double deck it. So we got to get rid of some of these used vehicles.
One of the things that sets us apart from the other guys, whether it's across town or whether it's north of the tunnel or whether it's across the river, is our Randall Ford Protect. I mean, it's that's something that's huge that no one else offers.
Yes, we just started doing that this last year is when we really incorporated that, just because we hear all the people with the warranty issues that they have. So we wanted to, and people hear lifetime warranty, and some of the other places it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, the buzzword lifetime is like, oh, but you got to do this and this. We did our own lifetime warranty here at Randall Ford only, that actually is a legitimate deal that takes care of you and ensures that you have this car and it's going to be taken care of for the life of this car.
All it has to be is 10 years or newer, under a 100,000 mile mark on the odometer, and you get your oil changed with us. That's it. It's that simple. I mean, every 5,000 miles. It's that easy.
Yeah, it's stuff you're going to do anyway. So as long as you do your regular maintenance, then you're going to be guaranteed and you're going to be protected for the life of that vehicle.
The other thing that we offer that nobody else offers, and it's this guy's idea right here. And matter of fact, we had some customers take advantage of it this week. Anytime you buy an EV from us, they're going to you're alleviating the stress, and it's like, oh, where am I going to charge if you're going on vacation?
Yeah,
you found a way to do it.
Range anxiety is what they call it. That's the technical term for it, where people love having an electric vehicle, but the scary thing is if you go on a trip, are you going to be able to find a charger? Is the charger going to work? Are you going to have to wait 45 minutes to an hour on your trip? It's like, because time's precious on a trip.
Right.
So what we do is if you buy an electric vehicle from us at Randall Ford, 3 times a year we'll let you come and just borrow a vehicle from us for a week, a gas-powered vehicle, so you can love your electric, but then you have that gas-powered vehicle for the peace of mind whenever you take a trip.
Exactly right. Plus, we detail your car for you. have it fully charged, ready to go whenever you come back. And that way you're not wasting that valuable vacation time on sitting at a charging station.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is we rolled this over into our leasing program.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
whenever you lease a car, there are certain parameters on the amount of miles you can drive on this lease, how far you can go.
Mm-hmm.
So people worry about that because the more the lease costs to get more miles. But what we do is if you lease a car from Randall Ford and Randall Ford only, then the same thing. We will let you borrow a car twice a year. So that way, if you want to go on a trip and you don't want to overrun your miles on your lease,
Right.
you can borrow a car from us that is a car that you're not leasing, take it on the trip. And again, we'll clean yours up, take care of, do all the service while it's sitting here, be ready for you whenever you come back.
Not going to get that anywhere else. There's a reason that this is the fourth oldest Ford dealership in America, and there's also a reason that the Randall Ford family has been here since 1908. And Chris,
I haven't been here that long, so feels close sometimes.
Billy Hines always said that I had. He said that I was here for the very first car sale. Hey, look, we've got some great deals on new. We still have a lot of new vehicles that we need to move, but our pre-owns, man, we've got a ton of them, and we've got quality pre-owns.
Yes, just come take a look. Jimmy didn't win Salesman of the Year for the third time running because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Exactly. I appreciate that. Hey, come see us around the Ford and get out and get your tickets and go see the UA Fort Smith Lions and Lady Lions at the Stubblefield. Thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of the Lions Den.